forehead. He prayed, Father, take this cup from me, but not my will, but your will be done. He prayed it over and over and over again. 3 times he cried out to his Father, and his Father heard him and gave him the strength and the resolve to face the cross. All you got to do is keep on praying. Stop getting tired in praying. Keep on pushing. It looks like it ain't working out. I'm going to keep praying. I'm not going to stop praying till I start seeing change. Maybe you got to start changing your position. I told y'all 2 weeks ago, sometimes you got to change your position. The text says that when Hezekiah prayed before God, he turned his face to the wall. He got tired of being in the same position, so he changed his position and made a plea to God. Change your position. Don't stop. Don't stop praying. Then she went back, and this time when she went back, even though the judge said, even though I don't fear God, or I don't care about his people, yet because you keep bothering me, I will see that you get justice so that she won't eventually wear me out. She went back to the judge and got her situation turned around. If the unjust judge can make a decision like that, imagine what God can do. If an unjust judge can make a call like that, imagine what kind of calls God has stored up with your name on it. I told y'all last week when you make muffins and you put them in the oven, the directors say halfway through the process, turn the muffins in. God is about to work out a turnaround in your life. But baby, you can't give up in praying. You got to keep on pushing and keep on pressing and keep on praying. I got one more thing and I'm going back to my seat. But look what the judge said. Listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God bring about justice for his chosen one who cry out day and night? Will he keep putting them off? I stop by here to let you know you don't have to go to the earthly judge no more to get your needs met, but you can go to the ultimate judge, which is God. We have Jesus now as our high priest, that when he died, he tore the veil of the temple in half. So now I don't have to go to the high priest. Now I don't have to go to the pastor. Now I don't have to go to the bishop. Now I don't have to go to the apostle. Now I don't have to go to the minister. But now I can go to God on my behalf. And I got Jesus on the right hand of the Father. Saying, for God, I died for them. He's the high priest. God, I rose for them. God, I'm coming back for them. And God will start to work out the things in your life. But now you don't have to go to no earthly judge. But I can go directly. I can go directly to the Father. The old folks used to sing the song, Jesus on the main line, tell them what you want. Call them up and tell them what you want. I don't got to call the pastor. I don't got to call the bishop. I can call Jesus directly and say, God, I got a problem. I'm standing in the need. I need you to work out my situation. I need you to manifest it. God, I'm getting tired. I need you to give me strength to hold on. God, I feel like I'm being worn down. I need you to pop me up with every leaning side. I can call God myself. Lift up your hands, all ye gates, and be ye lifted up together as the door, that the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty and battle. This text says, I tell you, he will see that you get justice, and you'll get justice quickly. Now that messed with me. And it got me, and I'm reading this text like, I'll get justice quickly. God, I've been in this situation for some time now. And you said, I'm going to get justice quickly. The logic is not adding up. God, there's some prayers I've been praying for years. And you said you're going to give me justice quickly. You said you're going to answer my prayer quickly. I've been praying for years and months. What do you mean quickly? And the Holy Spirit said, stop it. Because in order for you to understand this, you got to understand the way that God works out timing. I said, okay, explain to me. He said, in the Greek, there are 2 different types of timing. You have the kairos, you have the chronos.
Yes, sir.
I said, explain it to me. He said, chronos timing was set up for us. That's the timing that go by seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and years. That's the timing that God orchestrated for us. He said, but the Kairos timing is the appointed time or the time when God acts. The problem is the kairos don't always add up to the chronos. Because a year for us may be 10 minutes to God. But the old folks put it like this: He may not come when you want Him, but He's always on time. He's an on-time God, yes He is. The kairos don't add up to the chronos. Baby, stop looking at your chronos situation and trying to match it up with God's kairos timing. God said He's going to work it out when He said He's going to work it out. And He's going to do it quickly. The longer you pray, the longer you hold on, God is still going to work out your problem. Don't get tired of praying. Don't get tired. God says He's going to work it out. And He's going to work it out quickly. Quickly, God, maybe not in the chronos, but quickly in the kairos. I'm going to work it out at the appointed time. I'm going to work it out for you at the right time. If I manifest it when you want it in the chronos, I might mess up your life. So I need to manifest it in the kairos. I'm going to do it for you, baby, when you're not even expecting it to. God says this next move He's going to do for your life, He's going to do it when you stop trying to add it up with the chronos. And He's going to do it just at the right time. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I got a kairos blessing coming. And the thing I like about God is this: in the process of you waiting, God will still preserve you.
Yes, yes.
In the process of you waiting, God will still keep you. I'm a culinary major. I'm not sure if I shared this analogy here, but if I did, I'm going to share it again for the sake of the text. But there's a cake, a particular cake that we make that's called a Charlotte Royale. This cake is a cake that's challenging to make because of the process. But once you get through the process and once the cake is done, it's a really good cake. The cake is filled with Bavarian cream in the center, but the outside of the cake has strawberry roulades all around it, which looks like if you take a strawberry shortcake, one of them little Debbie's, and cut it up and put it around the cake. That's what the roulade looks like. So it looks like you got a whole bunch of strawberry shortcake slices around the Bavarian cream. Once you put the strawberry roulades around the Bavarian cream, the cake is not done. There's still more to the process you got to do. The next step is to take apricot glaze and brush the outside of the cake. I stop by here to let somebody know that God is brushing you right now. And in the process of Him brushing you, there are some crumbs that's going to fall off. But your ending is going to look a whole lot better than when you're beginning. God said, I got you in the season where I'm getting rid of the crumbs. The crumbs not going to mean you no good. I'm taking rid of the crumbs. I'm brushing you. And I'm going to keep brushing you till the crumbs fall off. And by the time God gets through brushing you, you're going to look a whole lot better than what it is that you've been through. But after you put the apricot glaze on, the reason you put the apricot glaze on it is because the apricot glaze preserves the cake. It increases the shelf life, which means that the cake will go on and live and stay fresh longer than it would have if you not brushed the apricot glaze on. God is preserving you right now, and He's brushing you with apricot glaze, which is increasing your shelf life. He's adding more time to you. He's adding more years to your life. And when it's all said and done, you're going to look a whole lot better than what you've been through. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, don't I look good? Don't I look good?
Don't I look good?
Turn on the other side and say, imagine me what I'm going to look like.
Yes!
Instructed me. It ain't over yet. God is still working with me. He's still blessing me. He's still cleaning me. He's still washing me. He's still making me whole. And in the end, when I step into my destiny, when I step into where God has called me to be, I'm going to look a whole lot better. So when people see me, they're going to say, oh my, he came a long way. Oh my, he looks good. And I can stand and say, my soul looks back and wonder how I got over. And if it had not been for the Lord on my side, I wouldn't have made it. But I'm going to make it. Push. Pray until something happens. Don't give up. God sent me here this morning to tell you, hold on. Change is